Hare Krishna. Welcome to Tax Guru YouTube channel. This is CA Rohan R. Pingle, practicing chartered accountant based in Mumbai, also partner in Motilal and Associates LLP, member firm of Marks Network. Welcome to video series What Law Says. And today we are going to discuss case laws under GST reported to High Court Part 11. So let's dive into it. Let me allow to share my screen. So what law says? Indirect Tax Part 11 GST case laws reported to High Court, and stay tuned till the end of the video because at the end of the video we will discuss conclusions, one-liner conclusions that can be drawn from today's cases. So let's start. Today's first case, Messrs. Anand and Anand, a law firm versus Principal Commissioner, Central Goods and Services, 2025, Allahabad High Court, date of order 4th September 2025. Let's understand facts and issue of the case. Writ petition challenging an appellate process arising from GST proceedings against the petitioner, a law firm. Issue was whether a appellate authority could remit the matter back to the adjudicating officer or otherwise proceed, and whether procedural safeguards, that is personal hearing or statutory preconditions, were complied with, is what issue under consideration. Let's see what Allahabad High Court observed and held. The court emphasized that the appellate authority cannot simply remit issues back to the adjudicating officer in a mechanical way where statutory procedure and section wise jurisdiction, including section 107, require what consideration by the appellate forum itself. The High Court set aside the impugn order to the extent it improperly remitted, which were disposed of the appeal, and directed the appellate authority to decide after complying with statutory requirements and giving effect hearing. Next. KC Overseas Education Private Limited versus Union of India 2025, Bombay High Court, date of order 3rd March 2025. Let's understand facts and issue of the case. Assessee Education Consultancy received commissions in foreign currency from foreign universities for student placements. Department sought to treat such receipt as taxable, not export of services for IGST or GST purposes. Very interesting. So issue was whether the commissions received from foreign universities qualify as export of services under the IGST Act or are taxable supplies of services in India. Let's see what Bombay High Court observed and held. The Bombay High Court, that is Nagpur Bench Division Bench, reported held in favor of the assessee. The commissions were export of services, supplies to a non-resident, paid in foreign exchange, and other conditions are made. Consequently, the receipts were outside the GST levy and eligible as export. So the decision was reported, discussed widely, and later got favorable treatment on SLP other proceedings. Next. Mamaine Dey versus Union of India 2025, Guwahati High Court, date of order is 3rd September 2025. Let's understand facts and issue of the case. Petitioner faced GST registration cancellation, retrospective cancellation proceedings. Subsequently, the assessee updated pending returns and discharged liabilities as well. Validity of retrospective cancellation, or whether registration cancellation can be sustained where the assessee has filed outstanding returns and discharged dues adequacy of show cause notice or procedural compliance was issue under consideration. So let's see what Guwahati High Court observed and held. The Guwahati High Court set aside quashed the retrospective cancellation where the assessee had regularized pending returns and there was a procedural infirmity, show cause notice or notice defects, lack of proper opportunity. The court favored restoration or relief where statutory steps and natural justice were not followed. So it was in favor of assessee. Next, Ajay Gupta versus Sales Tax Officer Class 2 2025 Delhi High Court date of order 22nd September 2025. Let's understand facts and issue of the case. The petitioner's GST registration had been cancelled with retrospective effect, claimed effect from 1st July 2017 by the Sales Tax or GST authority. Petitioner challenged the retrospective cancellation and the process followed. So issue was whether cancellation of GST registration with retrospective effect is permissible when the original show cause notice didn't propose retrospective cancellation or whether natural justice and proper show cause were given. Very, very important and interesting. Let's see what Delhi High Court observed and held. Delhi High Court held against retrospective cancellation where the show cause notice or order didn't fairly propose retrospective cancellation or where there was a breach of natural justice. Means whatever the show cause notice, that order didn't fairly propose the retrospective cancellation. So court restored the registration and set aside the impugned order relief based on lack of specific allegation about retrospective cancellation and requirement of recent order. Next, Sharma Trading Company versus Union of India 2025. Again, Delhi High Court, date of order 23rd September 2025. Let's understand facts and issue of the case. Petitioner is a distributor. Matter involved what challenge to anti-profiteering NAPA pass on obligation section 171 of CGST Act and related proceedings. The case raises consumer welfare and compliance with NAPA directions. So issue was whether the anti-profiteering authorities findings, that is NAPA, orders and related rules procedure were valid and whether penalty or depositor actions were justified. These are the issues under consideration. Let's see what Delhi High Court observed and held. Delhi High Court upheld the constitutional validity statutory framework of Section 171 and related rules to the extent necessary to enforce consumer welfare, affirmed NAPA's finding of profiteering and ordered deposit to consumer welfare fund but moderated or examined the penal aspects and procedural compliance. Next, AL Exports versus Union of India 2025, Delhi High Court, date of order 26th September 2025. Let's understand facts and issue of the case. Assessee's GST refund appeal matter, the appellate authority issued a hearing notice or the portal showed what hearing notices in a way that raised procedural issues. Petitioner alleged breach of natural justice, procedural irregularity in appeal proceedings, personal hearing notice not uploaded properly on the portal. So issues were whether the appellate authority complied with procedural requirements for personal hearing, that is portal upload of hearing notice, and whether orders passed despite hearing defects amount to breach of natural justice warranting setting the order aside. So let's see what Delhi High Court observed and held. The Delhi High Court found a procedural lapse, that is personal hearing notices must be uploaded on the GST portal. What Delhi High Court observed and held, personal hearing notices must be uploaded on the GST portal, that is system compliance, and mere dispatch or registered post without a proper portal record can cause deprivation of effective hearing. Means notice should be uploaded on the GST portal, and mere dispatch at registered post without proper portal record can cause deprivation of effective hearing. The court set aside the impugn order and directed rehearing or compliance with portal based notice requirements. Next, Tamilnadu State Transport Corporation Villupuram Limited versus Additional Commissioner of Central Tax Chennai 2025 Madras High Court date of order 14th March 2025. Let's understand facts and issue of the case. TNSTC faced what demand of interest and penalties for delayed filing of returns, that is GSTR 3B, for the period July 2017 to July 2019. The delay was caused by portal technical issues and problems with what digital signature, that is retirement of retirement of MD affecting the DAC. So issue was whether interest or penalty for delayed filing applies whether taxpayer had an electronic cash ledger credit and where filing failure was due to only technical glitches. Let's see what Madras High Court observed and held. Madras High Court quashed the demand for interest where tax amounts had been credited to the electronic cash ledger before due date and where technical or portal DSC issues prevented filing. Interest liability doesn't arise merely because debit entry was effected later when payments were in the electronic cash ledger timely. The court accepted technical problems as relevant for relief. So what it denotes is that whenever we face such type of technical glitches, wherever possible we must take screenshot of that particular thing, so that in future if any we have to defend ourselves, we will be able to use that screenshot that we have tried to comply but unable to do it because of the technical glitches. So that can be learned. Next, Veera Mohana Krishna Engineering Works versus Assistant Commissioner 2025 Andhra Pradesh High Court date of order 22nd August 2025. Let's understand facts and issue of the case. Batch of writ petitions by multiple petitioners, including Messrs. Veera Mohana Krishna Engineering Works, challenging GST versus commercial tax orders, show cause notices, retrospective actions and cancellations and demands. Issue was whether procedural validity of tax demands and whether authorities followed statutory notice requirements and afford proper opportunity of hearing whether orders could be sustained. Let's see what Andhra Pradesh High Court observed and held. Andhra Pradesh High Court recorded that substantial procedural shortcomings existed, defects in issuance and contents of show cause notices, non-compliance with rule section requirements, and granted what relief by quashing or setting aside orders in appropriate cases and remitting others for fresh consideration consistent with the law. So that's it for today. So that we will now moving onwards conclusions, one-liner conclusions that can be drawn from today's cases. So if you want, you can take a screenshot of it for your benefit. First, appellate authorities under GST cannot appellate authorities under GST cannot mechanically remand matters back and must decide what appeals in accordance with statutory provisions and principles of natural justice. Commission received from foreign universities for student placement qualifies as what export of services and is not liable to GST. Retrospective cancellation of GST registration is unsustainable where returns are subsequently filed and proper opportunity of hearing is not given. GST registration cannot be cancelled retrospectively unless such proposal is clearly stated in the show cause notice and supported by reasons. Anti-profiteering provisions under GST are valid and enforceable, and benefits of tax reduction must be passed on to the consumers. Order passed without proper service of personal hearing notice through the GST portal violate what natural justice and are liable to be set aside. Interest under GST is not payable when tax amount is already deposited in the electronic cash ledger and delay is due to technical glitches. GST demands are invalid where show cause notices and adjudication orders suffer from procedural lapses and denial of effective hearing. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for patient hearing. You can note down my contact numbers, email ID if you want. If you have any observations, suggestions, queries, then do let me know through email or you can also WhatsApp me on this number. So stay tuned to the Tax Guru YouTube channel. If you are not yet subscribed, then do subscribe it for latest updates and video series like this. So we will meet in next video soon. Bye bye. Take care. Hare Krishna.